Hello! It is Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022, and it is National Puppy Day. This weekend I will not be wrestling. I actually have this weekend off, but please go check out some local wrestling, music, live events, or spend some quality time with your loved ones, chosen or related. But back to next week, back to the grind. Upcoming wrestling dates, Friday, April 1st, Oshawa, Ontario. I'll be returning to Oshawa for the first time since August 2020. Saturday, April 9th, returning back to Barrie for Barrie Wrestling. And Saturday, April 16th, Cambridge, Ontario for Crossbody Pro Wrestling. For another show. Later on this month, I'll be returning to Ottawa, Montreal, and Hamilton. First time in Hamilton since February 2020, so 2 years. Patreon Zooms, we did the game night for Jackbox on Monday. This Sunday, we have the watch-along for ECW Living Dangerously 1999. That'll be at 8 p.m. for the meal tier and higher. And for all tiers, the promo contest will happen next week, 8 p.m. Monday night. The deadline for that, though, is tomorrow night at midnight, so send those in. Only Gilmy and CJ have sent them in so far, so... you can follow me at Holden Pro on Twitter and Instagram, where I host an Instagram Live every Monday night from 7:15 to 7:45, where you can be a guest and appear on the stream if you're a Patreon member. I'm also going to do a TikTok live stream from 7 to 7:15 or 7:45 to 8 p.m. Not sure yet. All other links are you can quickly access in the descriptions or bios. But most importantly, patreon.com/BrendanC, Brendone, the letter C, that's my name, Brendan Caulfield. Join the Acolytes of Albright to get exclusive merch, content, shoutouts, and Zoom events. All tiers get listed in the credits, but Meal Plus tiers get shoutouts. So thank you Gimpy, Uncle Bobby B, Tommy Richardson, Morgan and Mama Thomas, Brian the Pizza Man Watson, Eric Thomas, and Rob Arbick. And now time for some fun facts, birthdays, and what was the number one song on this day I forgot to update this, I believe it's in 1983, I want to say. Yep, in 1983. What was the number one song? You'll find out shortly. But before that, thank you as always to the websites onthisday.com, nationaldaycalendar.com, and mybirthdayhits.com. National Puppy Day, observed each year on March 23rd. National Puppy Day celebrates the unconditional love and affection puppies bring to our lives. Their cuddles and wiggles make us smile, and without a doubt, there are squeals of delight when there are puppies around. The day also brings awareness to the need for care of and homes for orphan pups, as well as to educate people about the horrors of puppy mills across the country. Puppies are a big responsibility. Be sure to consider everything involved and adopt from a shelter. The puppies there need love and a home just as much as any other, and they grow into loyal pets too. There's a female wrestler from the Maritime, Chantal. She helps foster dogs. Chris Tidwell and his wife Kelly foster a bunch of dogs. It's fucking adorable. And like, what's funny is like, Tid's like this big, scary, giant dude, but like, there's a lot of just tiny puppies and such hanging around. It's fucking adorable. According to the ASPCA, approximately 3.3 million dogs enter shelters every year. Some of these dogs come from litters of puppies. If you're seeking a puppy to start your furry family, check the shelters first. When these abandoned and abused animals find their way to a shelter, each one needs a forever home, and their potential is limitless. I've actually delivered 18 puppies. So I bought a wiener dog. His name is Dexter. And he's a male. All my other dogs before them were female, and we didn't really like fix our dogs. Well, it's called fix, but we didn't like spay or neuter them. And then I got Dexter, and he proceeded to fuck each one of them. And the first time it was a litter of 10, and the second time it was a litter of 8. Unfortunately, he also hooked up with my sister's Pomeranian Chihuahua, and she lost that puppy because she's such a tiny dog, and the puppy was bigger than her. So that's sad, but I remember when like they came out, they were in like the embryonic sacs. My dog actually blew as one of the puppies from the first litter. But they came in these like embryonic sacs, and I remember like I ripped them open, which I guess like the mom is supposed to like bite it open or whatever. But my sister yelled at me. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know. I've seen dogs and they're not in fucking eggs." So interesting little Brendan story there. How to observe #National Puppy Day? Go use National Puppy Day on social media and post a photo of your puppy on social media. I did. She's not a puppy. She's about 8 years old. She's basically the age of my wrestling career. Go to the dog park and let your puppy play. Pick up a special treat for your puppy. Go for a walk with your young friend. National Puppy Day history. National Puppy Day was founded in 2006 by pet lifestyle expert, animal behaviorist, and author Colleen Page. Page is also the founder of National Dog Day and National Cat Day. Puppy FAQ. Question: when do puppies become adults? Puppies attain adulthood at various ages depending on the breed and size of the animal. However, they typically become adult dogs between their first and second birthday. So, 7 years. 7, 14. 3.5. So, like 10.5, they're adults. Well, in dog years. Which is easier to train? Puppies or adult dogs? Both puppies and adult dogs can be successfully trained. However, puppies haven't developed any bad habits yet. So training a puppy is often easier than training an adult animal. Do I have to have a puppy to celebrate National Puppy Day? No, anyone who is a dog lover can celebrate this day. There are over 1,500 national days. Don't miss a single one. Celebrate every day with nationaldaycalendar.com. And I thank you. March 23rd, celebrated and not so celebrated history. In 1490, first dated edition of Maimonides' Mishneh Torah, a code of Jewish religious laws, is published. So it's just a Torah. By the way, patreon.com. I include the Word document of this in the podcast feed. It's not just a video. And I mispronounce all of this. I think I'm going to make like a TikTok video at the end of each week of all my mispronunciations. In 1775, Patrick Henry proclaims, "Give me liberty or give me death," in speech in favor of Virginian troops joining the U.S. Revolutionary War. In 1808, Napoleon's brother Joseph takes the throne of Spain. In 1857, Alicia Otis installs the first public elevator in the E.V. Hogwarts and Company building located at 488, 490, and 492 Broadway in New York City. The 5-story building in Soho occupied 3 floors of ornate china, glassware, and textiles. Workers in the top 2 floors created custom-cut glass and painted dinnerware. In 1875, the British survey ship's HMS Challenger discovers the deepest known region of the Earth's oceans when it made its first surrounding of the Mariana Trench. The discovery was made during the ship's global oceanographic expedition. Oceanographic. If I say it with enough confidence, it's right. By the way, if you like aliens and UFOs and you're not terrified of USOs, unidentified submerged objects, you're fucking crazy. That's the real fear. What the fuck's in our oceans? That's where the monsters are. In the oceans. I can't swim. The ocean's my number 2 fear. Number 1 is swimming with sharp objects. Number 3, Bluetooth technology. Headphones are Bluetooth. I'll still use it even though I'm scared of it. In 1886, Tchaikovsky's Manfred Symphony, my fucking big ass tongue and lips, premieres in Moscow, Russia, conducted by Max Artemisdorfer. In 1918, Lithuania proclaims independence. In 1990, Benito Mussolini forms the fascist movement in Milan, Italy. Also in 1919, the 8th Congress of the Russian Communist Party reestablishes a 5-member Politburo, which becomes the center of the political power in the Soviet Union. Original members Vladimir Lenin, Leon Trotsky, Joseph Stalin, Lev Kamenev, and Nikolai Krasinski. In 1929, the first telephone is installed at the president's desk under the Hoover administration at the White House. Hoover. In 1931, the Indian independence fighters Bhagat Singh, Shivram Rajguru, and Sukhdev Thapar are hung after conducting an assassination and a bombing. Their request to be shot by a firing squad is refused. In 1933, Enabling Act, German Reichstag grants Adolf Hitler dictatorial powers. In 1936, physician Joseph G. Hamilton injects a leukemia patient with a sodium radiostopy. First intravenous injection of a human with a radiostopy. Once again, do not know these words. In 1940, the first radio broadcast of Truth or Consequences airs on CBS. In 1945, the Swollen Sidecar Company, headed by William Lyons, agrees to change its name to Jaguar. Also in 1945, the Battle of Okinawa, the U.S. Navy ships bombed the Japanese island of Okinawa in preparation for the Allied invasion. It would become the largest battle in the Pacific War in World War II. In 1950, the United Nations established the World Meteorological Organization. In 1957, the U.S. Army sells last homing pigeons. Oh, I didn't know they could sell those. I thought they still kind of had homing pigeons, not gonna lie. In 1962, William DeWitt buys the Cincinnati Reds for $4.625 million. In 1964, In His Own Right, a book of short stories, poems, and drawings by John Lennon is published. In 1968, Reprise Records releases Song to a Seagull, the Canadian singer-songwriter Joni Mitchell's debut studio album. In 1977, Elvis Presley begins his final concert tour. In 1979, Larry Holmes TKO's Osvaldo Ocasio in 7 for the heavyweight boxing title. In 1980, Australian cricketer Alan Border becomes the first and only batsman to reach 150 in each innings of a test in the third test versus Pakistan in Lahore. In 1983, U.S. President Ronald Reagan introduces Strategic Defense Initiative, aka Star Wars. In 1994, Howard Stern formally announces his libertarian run for New York governor. In 1994, Wayne Gretzky sets the NHL record with 802 goals scored. In 1996, the first U.S. astronaut arrives at the Russian space station Mir for an extended stay. Astronaut Shannon Lucid boarded Mir after traveling aboard the U.S. Space Shuttle Atlantis. The biochemist was the first woman to live aboard the space station. Another added achievement included being the first woman to fly in space 5 times. 5 times, 5 times, 5 times, 5 times. If you count that, I fucking know because I pictured a hand in my head. And also in 1997, WrestleMania 13, Rosemont Horizon, Illinois, Undertaker beats Psycho Sid for the WWF heavyweight title, but also that's it's off in the corner. You can't see it. It's literally right there, right out of view. Which, by the way, the YouTube video is on YouTube. That has Bret Hart versus Stone Cold in their I Quit submission match. It was fucking great. In 1998, the 70th Academy Awards, Titanic, Jack Nicholson, and Helen Hunt win awards. In 1999, Living La Vida Loca, bang, she bangs, oh baby, and she moves, she grooves, sung by Ricky Martin, is released and goes on to sell over 8 million copies. So when that is the number one song, I'm definitely playing that, forewarning. In 2000, Joe Sakic records his 400th career goal and becomes the Quebec Nordics Colorado Avalanche all-time leading point scorer. I wonder how many of those words I mispronounced. In 2001, after 15 years orbiting the Earth, the Russian space station Mir came to an end when it burned up in the Earth's atmosphere. The strategic destruction of the first modular space station was a coordinated effort with communications provided to island nations, ships, and planes in the debris zone over the Pacific Island. In 2004, Usher releases his fourth fourth studio album, Confessions. 2004 Billboard Album of the Year, Grammy Award Best Contemporary R&B Album, 2005. Why do I have Caught Up stuck in my head? Caught up, she's all caught up. In 2019, the Syrian Democratic Forces announced that the last Islamic State territory has been retaken, raising flags in Baghuz, Syria, and ending the 5-year Islamic State Caliphate. We're going to go into some COVID news, because in 2020, immediate global ceasefire to fight COVID-19 is called for by UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres in 2020, who says the COVID-19 pandemic is accelerating. The first 100,000 cases took 67 days, the second 100,000 cases took 11 days, and the third 100,000 cases took 4 days. And COVID-19 lockdowns imposed in South Africa and the United Kingdom, while other European nations extended and strengthened their lockdowns. And New York confirmed as the new center of the COVID-19 pandemic in the U.S. with 20,875 cases, 5,707 in the last day, and 157 deaths. And last year, 2021, Brazil's daily COVID-19 death toll passed at 3,251 for the first time. 298,676 is the total deaths reported, as country's Supreme Court blocks President Jair Bolsonaro overturning local restrictions. And I remember, you hear, that, the gangs and the warfare going on in Brazil, they literally made sure people stayed the fuck home. These gangs are walking up and down the streets with, their AK-47s to being brah, brah, stay the fuck in your house. Brazil handles things a little differently. And this year in 2022, after 114 consecutive weeks as world's #1 female tennis player, 25-year-old Australian Ash Barty makes shock retirement announcement, cites contentment with all she achieved in the sport. That's something people don't talk about. What happens when you achieve your goals? What happens when you are the best? Like Tom Brady retired and just recently came out of retirement because he was talking to LeBron James and saying they're both basically competing with each other to be the best. Like they're the best in their sports already, so they're just trying to beat each other now. So she's only 25. Congrats to her. I hope she has a full and fun life after this. Coming up next, birthdays. March 23rd, celebrated and not so celebrated birthdays. In the year 1693, James Bradley, an English astronomer, third astronomer royal, discovered Earth's nutation motion. That's a nice little rhyme. Nutation motion. Born in Shelburne, England, died in 1762. Exact date disputed. In 1884, Florence Ellenwood Allen. On November 2nd, 1920, Florence Ellenwood Allen became the first woman in the United States elected to a judicial office. She was elected to the judgeship of the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas, but she wouldn't stop there. In 1934, President Franklin D. Roosevelt nominated her for the U.S. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, for which the U.S. Senate unanimously approved. Allen became the first woman appointed and confirmed to a federal appeals court judgeship. In 1857, Fanny Farmer. In 1896, an American culinary expert published the Boston Cooking School Cookbook. Farmer immersed herself in the education of cooking and opened her own school, Miss Farmer's School of Cookery. In 1905, Joan Crawford, Lucille LeSueur, an American actress known for Mildred Pierce. Born in San Antonio, Texas, she died in 1977. Year of birth disputed, sources range 1904 to 1908. In 1910, Akira Kurosawa, a Japanese director and screenwriter who was posthumously named Asian of the Century in the Arts, Literature, and Culture category, Rashomon, Drunken Angels, Seven Samurai, and Ran, is born in Tokyo, Japan. He dies in 1998. In 1912, Werner von Braun, the German-born aerospace engineer, was a leader in rocket development in the early stages of space exploration. During World War II, he was instrumental in the development of V-2 ballistic missiles used by the Nazis. Braun and his team would surrender to Americans before the end of the war. And through Operation Paperclip, many of them came to the U.S., including Braun. Born in Worsitz, Germany, now Wierzysk, Poland, died in 1977. In 1924, Bet Graham, a single typo used to ruin an entire page. Wads of paper could fill wastebasket. Hunting and packing resume at the typewriter. I don't fucking know what any of this language is. Hunting, packing resume at the typewriter, attempting to get it right until one day in 1951, when types Bet Nesmith Graham created a white fluid that could brush onto the paper. Once dry, the experienced typist could retype the correct letter, word, or phrase. Her invention? Liquid paper. So she came out with white up. Blue, blue. Sorry, it's National Puppy Day. My dog wants up. Blue, blue. Don't hit your head. Come here. Come here. Good girl. Ugh. I'm going to try to read the rest while holding my puppy. Where am I? That's cool though. The whiteout was created by a woman. In 1932, Don Marshall, a Canadian ice hockey player, is born. In 1937, Blue, stop smelling the microphone. I love you. National Puppy Day. I gotta have her. She just got her nails clipped. Why am I showing her nails? So she's very shy and timid because we get the groomers to come here in like this weird van thing on the go. So it's very interesting. I'm sorry if the sound quality is a little bad. She's in my face. You can watch the YouTube video for this. Where am I? Okay, in 1937, Robert C. Gallo is born. In 1984, Dr. Robert Gallo and researchers at the Pasteur Institute in Paris discovered the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. Oh shit! HIV stands for human immunodeficiency virus. So everyone that's like immunocompromised. I think that's the word. I don't know. I didn't know that's what HIV stood for. In 1955, Moses Malone is born. Moses played 19 seasons in the American Basketball Association and the NBA. In the 6'10" center was a 12-time NBA All-Star and named MVP 3 times. Despite his legendary career, his only championship win was in 1983 while with the 76ers. Born in Petersburg, Virginia, he died in 2015. In 1964, John Panette, American comedian, is born. He died in 2014. Happy birthday. John Panette was like the first comedian I remembered his name. So, I have a ton of respect for John Panette. John Panette's one of my favorite fucking comedians. In 1965, Wayne Presley, an NHL right wing, Toronto Maple Leafs, is born in Detroit, Michigan. In 1971, Hiroyoshi Yamamoto, a wrestler for New Japan Pro Wrestling, is born. In 1978, Perez Hilton, born Mario Armando Lavendier Jr., an American television personality and blogger, is born in Miami, Florida. I think, like, toxic media can be traced back to Perez Hilton. Like, we talk about terms of, like, outing people and shit like that, and this motherfucker would, like, draw coming out of people's faces and mouths. Like, Perez Hilton was a piece of shit. He might still be a piece of shit. I don't know. He just doesn't exist in my universe. But fuck Perez Hilton at one point. In 1980, Russell Howard, a British comedian born. Russell Howard is fucking hilarious. Go look up Russell Howard. In 1992, Kyrie Irving, an American basketball guard, 2011 NBA draft #1 pick for the Cleveland Cavaliers, is born in Melbourne, Australia. Wait, Kyrie Irving is born in Australia? Huh. And remember, comment down below the video, the Patreon post. Tell me what sports, arts, countries, etc. you're interested in, facts-wise, because I like to Control F and look through the documents. Going forward, these won't be as long. I'm going to try to narrow them down to about 10 to 12 points. But then have a bonus one for Patreon. That's a little side peek that I didn't really decide until I was looking at how long these are. March 23rd deaths. In the year 59, Agrippina, the younger Roman empress. Oh, so like their name is Agrippina the Younger. Roman empress dies at 43. Circumstances of her death vary, but suggest she was murdered by her son, the Emperor Nero. Brother Nero, I knew you'd come. In 1369, Peter the Cruel, king of Castle and Leon, from 1350 to 1369, is murdered by his half-brother at 34. All these motherfuckers be murdering each other. In 1680, Nicolas Flagot, a French politician and superintendent of finances from 1653 to 61, who became fabulously wealthy and later imprisoned for maladministration of state funds, dies in jail in Pinerolo at 65. Fucking criminals, criminals, criminals. In 1931, Bhagat Singh, an Indian freedom fighter, is hung at 23. We talked about that earlier. Sorry. Oh, no, I got that one. In 1881, okay, so I fucked up these two. I apologize. In 1881, a gas lamp sets fire to the Theatre Municipal, an opera house in Nice, France. Nice? Oh, it's spelled nice, though. I didn't know that. Because I've heard Nice, France. I didn't know it was spelled like nice. 70 die and the building is completely destroyed. In 1917, tornadoes killed 211 over 4 days in the Midwest U.S. I think I've talked about that the last couple days. In 1942, 2,500 Jews of Lublin are massacred or deported. In 1944, Italian resistance group bombs occupying German police at Via Rasella, Rome, killing 33 and wounding 110 of the 156-man force. Retaliation kills 335 civilians. In 1965, Moroccan army shoots on demonstrators. About 100 are killed. In 1981, Mike Halewood, an MBE GM, British motorcycle road racer, world championships for the 250cc in 1961, 66, 67, 350cc in 66, 67, and 500cc in 62, 63, 64, 65. I should have just said from 62 to 65. And in 1976, Grand Prix winners, dies in a car accident at 40. Dies in a car accident. It didn't say like a racing car accident. So that'd be crazy. You're like a fucking race car driver, but you die in a driving accident, but like not while you're racing. In 1991, 20 tornadoes kill 5 in Tennessee. In 1994, the Russian Airbus A310 crashes in Serbia. 74 to 75 are killed. In 2003, in Nasiriyah, Iraq, 11 soldiers of the 507th Maintenance Company, as well as 18 U.S. Marines are killed during the first major conflict of Operation Iraqi Freedom. In 2005, a major explosion at the Texas City refinery kills 15 workers. In 2007, Eric Medlin, an American NHRA drag racer, dies at 33. In 2011, my dog is going under my chin because she wants cuddles on my beard. In 2011, Elizabeth Taylor, English-American actress, businesswoman, and humanitarian, Cleopatra, who's afraid of Virginia Woolf? Certainly not me. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Virginia Woolf. Virginia Woolf dies at 79. And in 2013, 20 people are killed and 200 are injured by a tornado in Brahmanbaria, Bangladesh. Beware of tornadoes right now. Like, for the last 150 years, tornadoes have been killing motherfuckers. So if you're in tornado country, watch out. In 2015, Lee Kuan Yew, a founding father of modern Singapore and the first prime minister of Singapore from 59 to 90, motherfucker served for 31 years? Sketchy. But he dies of pneumonia at 91. In 2019, more than 130 Fulani people are killed in Ogasagu, Mali, and attacked by dogon hunters, prompting government ban on the hunters. Hi. And in 2020, African-American Daniel Prude dies after being physically restrained by police in Rochester, New York, including having a hood put over his head. Coming up next, what was the #1 song in 1983? If you were born on Wednesday, March 23rd, 1983, then Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran was the #1 song in Canada on your birthday. The song went to #1 on March 19th, 1983, and stayed at the top of the charts for 1 week. Now, if you're listening to the podcast, I'm going to play the song. If you're not, you're going to get the credit soon. If you're watching this on TikTok, you get the song for 30 seconds. But before that, we get some breathing exercises and some motivation. So now, before we get into the song, let's get a couple breaths in. I'll do the first 2 with you, and remember, it's in through your nose and out through your mouth like a straw. Hi, Blue Blue. You're so cute. I highly recommend watching the YouTube video for me cuddling my dog while trying to record this. So, 1, 2, 3, in. And out. My dog is just staring at me. 1, 2, 3, in. And out. She didn't like that much. Do that a few more times while I give you some positive motivation and the song starts playing. Remember, you woke up this morning, you're already winning. Even if you fail to make progress today, you can still make progress tomorrow. You could be scared, you could be nervous, you could be uncertain. Show up anyways, that's how you will succeed. You can do it, I fucking believe in you. Remember to forgive your younger self, believe in your current self. Kiss your dog on the forehead so you can create your future self. And I hope you know that you made today a very special day by just being you. You made today a special day, Blue Blue. There's no one in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are. I like you too, Blue Blue. I wish you were like a little less cuddly, but I love you. Thanks for your continued support, Patreon. Personally, I hope you enjoy these videos, these podcasts, and I'll be back tomorrow with a little bit more. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Just have fun. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I truly appreciate being along the ride in your pursuits of happiness. Have a good one, everybody. Mwah. Mwah. Love you, Blue Blue. Hold on, Blue Blue, I can't pet you. Let me record. Let me end this.